Hey, it's Les from the TV Dudes. This week, I get to sit down with Evan Nikolas Fields, and we talk about Angel Studios' new series, The Wayfinders, where he plays Flynn. Wayfinders is a fantasy adventure packed with magic, visual effects, and big world building, and Evan shares what drew him to the role, how he landed the part, and what it was like bringing the show to life while shooting on location. It's a fun behind-the-scenes chat about a new genre series and the work that goes into making magic feel real. I had a great time chatting with him, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, Evan, thank you so much for making time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So we'll just jump right in if that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
So watching the trailer for the Wayfinders, it looks really fun. I was reading Collider's article on it, which is kind of raves about they get the same vibe I get, that this is a throwback to shows that I don't see so much anymore, the kind of books that I grew up reading, that, just looks like a blast. Can you talk a little bit about getting involved with the show, getting into the character of Flynn, what that was like?
Yeah, I mean, the whole process was incredible. I think it was much easier for me to switch to the character of Flynn or actually be in that fantasy world because it literally felt I was in a fantasy world. I mean, we shot it in Ireland, mostly on location. I mean, there's little to no blue or green screen in this. So, like, it is just so visually stunning that I actually felt that I did transcend to a fantasy world. So going into that, it was pretty easy, I would say. As Flynn, it was a bit harder only because Flynn is the type of person that I tried to compress within myself. Whether that is showing like false confidence and things in that nature. So trying to be Flynn was definitely difficult, and it was really just connecting with my true self.
Well, I would think as an actor that that's always got to be, you want your character to have an arc, but that means that at the start of movie, series, whatever, they might be in a place that you're like, no, like I already did that work. I'm already past that.
Hmm.
Why are you being like this? But you got to be. It's a start. You got to have somewhere to go.
Definitely.
I in seeing the werebear and such in the bit in the trailer, so all the creatures and everything in the trailer, and I was really wondering about the amount of green screen if that was odd, but I've been to Ireland. It is magical just on its
Yeah.
own. You just keep Scotland the same. You just keep waiting for something. A dragon come over the hill, it'd be fine. I wouldn't blink. Uh, was that your first time getting to travel extensively?
That was definitely, yeah, when we shot the pilot, that was my first time to in Europe. So it was an incredible experience. I always wanted to go to Europe, but now I actually had a reason to go. And for the pilot, I was only there for a month. And, it was my first time being like a series regular on a show. It was a lot of firsts. So it was a lot. And I think I was able to really take it in the second time when we went over because we shot the pilot. I flew back, and then literally like a year later, I flew back and we filmed episodes two through five. So I was there for like 3.5 months, and I really got to take it all in. I mean, we went to the Cliffs of Moher. We were filming at like 1,000-year-old castles. It was incredible. And then I got to see more of Europe because the cast and crew are all from around Europe. Some people are from Italy, some people are from the UK, some a lot of them were home base in Ireland, but they all lived in like a bigger city like Dublin. So after my friend Vince and I, who plays Cash on the show, he's United States based. He lives in South Carolina. We were like, why would we leave? So uh, after we were in Limerick, Ireland, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
smaller
Yeah,
town.
I've been to Limerick.
Yeah, we took the train to Dublin just to see like the city side of Ireland, and
Mm-hmm.
then the stunt coordinator and then the head of hair. They live there, so they showed us around. We stayed there for a couple of days, which is really cool. And then from Dublin, we flew to London because a lot of people in the main cast are from there, like Sam, who plays the werebear Kevin, Izzy, who plays Princess Aurora, and T, who plays Oakley. They're all from London. So we stayed with them and we hung out with them in London. And then we're thinking, where else should we go? So we were like trying to figure out, we're like, let's just go to Paris. So then we flew from London to Paris, stayed in Paris for a week. I had a friend from high school. His name is Evan as well. He moved to Paris, so I hit him up. It just so happened that our Airbnb and where he lived was like a 5 minute walk. So, and he speaks fluent French, so he showed us around. And then we're like, okay, we should probably go back home and see our families. So we stayed in Paris for a week and flew back home. So it was a real like European excursion. It was like a little boys trip after the
That's
real
awesome.
work was done.
Yeah, I'm always surprised at the like, oh yeah, that's right over there. I could take a train to it. Uh,
Yeah.
it's like growing up in Texas, it's like hours to get out of this state.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm always amazed that like once you're over there, you should go see some stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. I mean, like, yeah, like I said, I'm growing up in California. When you're taking a plane to another state, it's hours, but there the countries are so small.
right, right.
It's only like a 30-minute flight.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about getting into acting? When did you know you were bit by the bug and were like, this is fun. I want to do this. This is
Yeah,
what I
great
want to do.
question. Um, I started fairly young. I started out in theater, um, by a whim, really. Um, in middle school, I think I procrastinated in picking my elective. I still am a procrastinator. I need to fix that. But you got
You'll
to
get to it.
choose. I appreciate that. You got to choose what you wanted your elective to be. And I think my first was like I wanted art, and that was full. And then my second one was like we had like a horticulture program at the school at the time. So I wrote that, but that was full. So I think my third option was like it was like a mix between choir and drama. I think one semester was choir and then the other semester was drama. So I was like, okay, this would be cool. First semester was choir, really cool, learn how to sing from the diaphragm, things like that. And then my second semester was drama, where I had an incredible teacher who I still talk to today. His name's Mr. Amigo. And it was just like an intro to drama. So it's like a first for everyone, like an intro to improvisation. Plus, I think he knew that a lot of people weren't going to be in the actual theatrical arts, so he made it a class more on how to vocalize, how to man a stage, how to get over stage fright and things of that nature. So we worked on all that, and I think one of our uh, quote unquote exams we had to do that cost a lot of our grade was we had to go on stage and lip sync a song. So I think I lip synced like a Michael Jackson song. I was Michael Jackson for Halloween, so I just brought the glove and everything. I was like, I'll just go all out because I really wanted A. So I did that, and then he pulled me over and was like, "Have you ever thought of trying out for a play production?" Because they had intro to drama, but they also had a play production class that you actually had to audition for. And I had no idea what I wanted to do at the time. Theater or acting was definitely not one of them. It never really crossed my mind. But, he was pretty adamant on I should audition for play production. So I ended up auditioning for play production. Um, I ended up getting in, started doing plays in middle school, really started enjoying it, thinking that, this might be something I want to pursue. And, I live in Los Angeles, so the odds of like you knowing someone who knows someone who has an agent, it's not even 8 degrees of separation. It's probably like two or three. Um, know someone who's like an agent or someone in the industry. And my mom's hairdresser had a client who knew someone, and they went to go see me and sign me from there. And they're still my agent today. His name is Reynard. Shout out Reynard. Um, and that's really how I got the ball rolling.
I know shooting TV, shooting movies, it it can be so much different than people think if they've only seen a play. It's so non-linear. You might shoot this scene and then this other one that's way later in the script or whatever because that's what you're doing today. What was the oddest or strangest thing for you in terms of moving from like stage theater to television production? Was there an odd moment of like, wow, this is not the same job at all, or this is so different?
That's a great question. I would definitely say just how emotions and things look on camera. Because when you're on stage, obviously you're in front of an audience, and, to sort of show emotion, you sort of, in some cases, exacerbate that emotion just to get that across. But if you were to do that on camera, it just doesn't look pleasing, especially on screen. So, you definitely have to pull it back a little, I would say, on camera. But I would say that it's way easier to pull back than try to give more. So I think I was so up here that that it's easier to try to pull it back rather than being down here and having to bring it up a notch.
Yeah, being asked to turn up your energy. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember being surprised when like actor friends of mine had never considered that. But yeah, that's obviously a difference. They were taking classes that were specifically acting for camera because
Hmm.
you don't need to project to the back row. You know,
Definitely.
they're going to
Like,
see
why are
the
you screaming? Why are
yeah,
you yelling?
like we're up on your eyes, right? Uh,
Yeah.
uh, the pedigree of Wayfinders. I loved the Goldbergs. Adam F. Goldberg's great. All the CW superhero shows. Greg Winter's great. Uh, were there anything you were particularly excited about when you found out about the project? Or these the kind of was these the kind of shows that you watched? Were did Wayfinders look like something that you were like, man, if I weren't in that, that's fucking cool.
Definitely, yeah. I've never really auditioned or been in some sort of like fantasy world, like warlock orc sort of deal. So I always wanted to check it off my bucket list. As a kid, I loved Narnia. I loved that movie so much. And to be part of something that's sort of like that is really cool, and definitely something I wouldn't pass up if it came across again in the future.
Narnia was one of the first things that I thought of when I saw the trailer.
Yeah,
Just yeah, knowing the Angel Studios kind of vibe and the
yeah,
show and C.S. Lewis, I was like, man, this is going to have some Aslan metaphor. Like I know this show's going to have that vibe. Uh, yeah, really excited to get to see more of it coming out weekly through January. People can go check out Wayfinders right now, and I'm going to put the link up for the Angel Studios app and all that. Uh,
awesome.
do you have anything coming out that you're excited about besides Wayfinders?
At the moment, I'm really just focused on Wayfinders. I mean, I go back to Ireland
Oh yeah,
early March to shoot the remainder of season one from the second half of season one. So really, at this time, I'm just focused on that.
it's just all Wayfinders. That makes sense.
All
I think it's
Wayfinders, 100%, all the way.
well. I can't wait to talk to you after all of this when it's huge and everybody's like, "You got to talk to Evan Nikolas Fields." Yeah, I did.
That'd be the goal. Definitely, I'd love to come back.
Well, thank you so much for chatting, man. I got to go to Cliffs of Moher. It's awesome. It is beautiful. I remember we got off the bus and it was the photo of the cover of my. This is how long ago it was. Photo of the cover of my guidebook. Uh, this was like 2000, and I remember like looking down at the picture on my guidebook and looking up and like, God, I'm actually in this picture now. Wow. Yeah, Ireland is breathtaking.
It is. I had a
Jealous
good
that you get to
time.
go back. Man, thank you so much for making time today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
TV Dudes is an independently run podcast out of Austin, Texas. We are exclusively listener-supported. If you'd like to help us out, go to patreon.com/tvdudes.
You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TV Dudes. All the music for our show is done by our friend and original TV Dude, Gregory J. Amani Smith.
To find out more about us, go to thetvdudes.com. I'm Randy Lander.
I'm Les Weiler.
And I'm Kyle Scott.
Thanks for listening.